Welcome to CSN the Network Podcast. This is your host, Kayvon Cutler, with my amazing co-host, Malik Hampton. How you doing this evening, brother?
I'm good, man. How you, bro?
As Drizzy would say, blessed, black, and highly favored. Definitely doing better now that I get the pod with the fam. Again, please don't be alarmed. Same thing this week with fam regarding Dree. She's busy with work, so again, she gave us the nod to go ahead. So please don't get it twisted or don't overthink. Nothing going on, fam. Like I've said in recent weeks, she's just extremely busy with work. So of course we always check with her to make sure because we really don't want to go without her, but she just doesn't have the availability right now. And we understand, you know what I mean? So with that being said, we're gonna hold it down for her. Starting out, Malik, we're gonna get it started with prep sports. High school playoffs begin in the state of West Virginia this upcoming Friday night. So, I just want to see how you think these particular teams will do. Regarding teams in the Valley, we have G Dub hosting Oak Hill, and then we have Capital traveling to play Nitro High School. Cap is 12th, and Nitro is ranked fifth in the state regarding the rankings. So, who you think is coming out of both matchups? What you think?
I'm going with G-Dub, of course, and then I'm gonna take Cap in an upset win over Nitro. Uh, Ride with Lil Day Day, man. I like how uh, I like how he looks, man. I think he breathes some life into that offense for sure. So I'm gonna give Cap a upset chance, and I'm taking G-Dub, of course.
Yeah, I think shout out to Jaden, little Jaden Black. I think he gonna hold it down. I think he gonna go crazy on Friday against Oak Hill. So I had the foresight to see G Dub getting that dub as well. And then similar to yourself, I got Cap on the upset, man. I just think the energy, I understand Nitro does have a lot of seniors, and shout out to Takai, who went crazy this past season. Having over 1,400 total yards, 18 touchdowns, bro. He looked like you out there, quiet as kept, bro. Killing that receiver, killing in the return game. He been balling this year, so shout out little Takai for sure. Been like that since a young boy, but I just got Cap pulling off the upset. I think Cap has made some adjustments since then. We'll make adjustments, and they got Lil Day Day starting. So I think they're going to be able to. You combine Lil Day Day with Big Day Day in regards to David Robinson. I think that serves for a powerful offense that should produce more points, more winning plays. I like that connection that Trady's little brother and Turan's little brother. Shout out to Ray Rush. I think the connection they got in the passing game is electric right now. So I see Cap pulling off the upset this upcoming week. Regarding the playoffs, man, we're going to keep it with the teams in the Valley that's really been doing their thing. How far do you think they can go in the playoffs in reference to G Dub and Cap? Like I could see honestly, like with the run game that they have, it's gonna be tough in the next round for Cap. But I could see, G Dub, if anything, like Max making it to the semifinals. But what you think?
Yeah, probably the same, man. I think they got a shot to make it to the semis at least. Maybe even make it to the chip. Um, just depends on how they play. I know they play different types of games this year. I know they've seen different types of opponents, but I think they can pretty much play with anybody in the state. Um, Besides Martinsburg, I haven't seen Martinsburg yet, to be honest with you. So, um, but yeah, I think they got a shot. Cat, they still need a little work, but they're young though. You know what I'm saying? So this is
That's why
good
I said,
experience for
yeah,
them. Yeah, I think they can get the upset, but I don't know who they'll have to play after that. I know they're in a different class in G Dub as well.
right.
Um, and shout out to the Hoover kids. You know what I'm saying? I know Hoover probably made the playoffs as well.
They did, yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. Just depending on who Cap would have to play after that, would determine my
Depending on who we
confidence
need.
in them.
Yeah.
Them going past that. But I think they can definitely get by Nitro for sure.
Who would you say is the Canal Valley Player of the Year?
Got to give it to Jaden Black, man. Stepping in as a true freshman. One of the top rushers in the state. One of the top seeds in the state. They really go as he go. But yeah, shout out to him. That's something unheard of. We ain't really seen that in a minute.
Yeah, not a freshman. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to LB and Dede. You know, both them boys ran for over 1,000 yards, had double digit touchdowns. You know, as far as the running back position and the receiver, shoot all the skill positions. You know, the Valley we look real good, man. We got a lot of skilled players out there, like I just mentioned, Takai, Nitro. We got a lot of kids. You know, we got little Devin Lazo, Marcus Valentine's son. So we got a lot of little youngins that's coming up. That's nice. Just mentioned Teray, Lil Day Day, like a lot of youngins. Day Day, the quarterback. Of course, you know David Robinson, but yeah. So that wraps it up because I agree in regards to Jaden. He got over 1,200 yards. I mean, double digit touchdowns. Like you said, you know, he leads that team. They go as he goes, you dig. So I just think, just based off impact, he has to get it as far as players in the Valley, right? He really impacts his team winning in a positive way. In NCAA football, man, who's your CSN player of the week from this past weekend, man? Real quick.
His name was Charlie Becker. He plays tight end for. He just made a lot of big catches. They was down, probably their best receiver for the game. So somebody else needed to step up outside of Omar Cooper, and it was the tight end, man. He just made a bunch of big time catches, timely catches. So I just want to show him love because they wouldn't have won the game without him, for sure.
And who'd you say it was again? We kind of had like a blooper, like with the connection.
Charlie Becker, Charlie Becker, tight end in Indiana.
I know for me, um, I'm gonna give it to. It's not the craziest game, but I'm gonna give it to Marcel Reed again. He went 20 for 29, 221 yards, two touchdowns. Good opponent, a ranked Missouri team. You know, I know they're facing some injuries, but that's who I gave it to this week. You know, he also rushed for over 20 yards, so that's who I gave the nod to this week. Um, Man, Alabama, we got a good test coming up this upcoming weekend, playing Oklahoma, playing a real good defensive team. Um, Coach Venable, he's really done a good job with them this year. Shoot, each year, you know, they've steadily been improving as far as, you know, climbing up in the rankings as far as being one of the top defenses in the nation. I think this year especially, they have like the offensive firepower, I feel like, to almost match, you know, how good their defense is. I mean, you know, we just saw the game they just played against Tennessee. You know, they definitely can put points on the board. Um, you know, and that's one of our weaknesses in regarding our offense is our run game. You know, to be specific, you know, they have a really good run defense, and that's one of our weaknesses right now. We're not a real good run team. You know, we don't want to go in there and be one dimensional, so we still got to be balanced. You know what I mean? I don't want to just try to think we could dominate the game, you know, just by passing the ball. Definitely still want to run it 25 to 30 times, be balanced. You know, I do expect us to win. If I was to put a score on it, you know, I would say it'd be a score of 28 to 17. Um, but I do think it's going to be a good game, but I'm taking us at home. So, uh, that's what I think regarding the preview of the game. You got anything you want to add or any thoughts regarding the Alabama Oklahoma matchup?
No, sir.
Um, Regarding being nervous about the offensive performance that they displayed against LSU, it was a lot of field goals, Malik, a lot of unfinished drives. Um, a lot of three and outs. Um, you just got to do a better job, like I said, of being a fresh efficient on the early downs, so we can win the later downs. Really would love to not get in third and long situations. We can avoid even a lot of third downs that's past third and six. That'd be ideal. That way we can, if we are going past the ball, um, it'd be the short intermediate routes. Because he's kind of having some trouble. I know I've been raving about his arm strength, but with his deep ball, it's just not super accurate right now. He's either overthrowing it or just missing it just by like a hair. It's like just the timing isn't right quite yet on the deep ball. So hopefully, we got to continue to try to stretch the defense and take our shots. So hopefully we continue to do so, and he does a better job in reference to Todd Simpson does a better job of executing on those plays because we need those plays if we really want to do what we want to do. But I wouldn't say I'll be nervous after the performance against LSU. You got to think that's a rivalry game regardless of the fact they're coming off a bye. They want to mess up our season, don't have anything to lose. So, I don't read too much into how the offense, played because that's a very good defense as well in reference to LSU last week. So, moving on. Uh, Malik, did Mendoza have his Heisman moment in Indiana's comeback win against Penn State last Saturday?
Yeah, probably. Probably. I don't think they got to play Ohio State in the regular season,
They don't.
this year. So yeah, that's probably a Heisman moment for him for sure. Because they definitely could have lost that game, man. Everything was set up for them to lose that game. The offense stalled pretty much all game. And then when they had to have it, you know, he went out there and got it done. So yeah, I think he's firmly in the lead right now for the Heisman. It's got to be for sure.
Yeah, and I would say that not to necessarily agree. I'm only kinda I like saying, he would be in the lead just because like the moment he didn't play particularly well up until that last drive. That last drive he was hitting on everything. I'll give him that. Prior to that though, he really didn't do too much. He only had threw for like 170 prior to that last drive. I had threw a pick. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you allowed a bad game. He ain't been bad all the way up into this, and he was down his top receiver, bro. Like it's all about the big moment. You
Yep.
down your top receiver, you throwing it to your tight end all game. You go get the win on the road. Yeah, I mean, I think it's his to lose for sure, for sure. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, I don't really
yeah,
play
just
anybody, but I mean that's nitpicking case by case. He
that's
did.
subjective, bro. Because Bama, who's Bama's best win? Georgia. Outside of that, who's Bama played that you would say that's what win does Bama have that looks good right now outside of Georgia? You
I
gonna tell
mean,
me Vandy?
you got to think, like I mentioned on the show before, we have set a record for beating four ranked teams in a row. So just off the strength of schedule, you understand that. Surely being an SEC member, having to play four straight SEC ranked SEC opponents, is value in that for sure. Those are big, big games, big
Nah,
moments,
nah.
back to back.
I'm a I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. I'm an SEC guy too, bro. I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. That's a smoke screen, bro. That's not. Y'all played four ranked teams, bro. But let's keep it a beam, bro. Y'all played Vandy, Missouri, and who else in the meantime, bro?
Tennessee,
Tennessee. Yeah, like come on, bro. Like
Vanderbilt.
yeah. You play both Tennessee teams, Missouri, I just don't. I mean, it's cool, but I mean, I'm gonna just keep it honest with you. They doing some funny stuff to at the end of the day, it's a business, bro. I'm an SEC guy. Top to bottom, SEC has the most talent, but they do some cooking of the books for SEC teams, bro, to keep people around, bro, like to help boost resumes. And that's just me being completely honest with you. They probably kept Missouri ranked a little while too longer. Tennessee, Tennessee is okay, but I mean, I wouldn't consider. I mean, they can clip you, but I mean, I wouldn't consider that necessarily. You know, a dogged out football. I don't know, bro. It just different, man. It just looks different. This isn't this isn't one of the more tougher SEC years. I'll put it that way. It's a lot of it's a lot of wackiness in the SEC right now. You know what I'm saying? Vandy being solid. That's a one off, bro. Let's just be honest.
For sure, but that doesn't deny the fact that they solid though. Can't front on Vandy. We can't front on Tennessee. You want to say
I
what you
mean,
want to
you
say
only
about
fronting on them
Missouri?
because you want to be biased, bro, but you just don't want to say it on the pod. You want Ty Simpson to be in the league, but there's no way you can put him over Mendoza, bro. There's just absolutely no way.
I didn't say that on
That's
here.
what you were insinuating. You were insinuating, saying they ain't play nobody. He ain't have a good game up until the end of the thing. It's like, bro, we didn't see Ty Simpson play 7 halves. I like his quarterbacking, but we got multiple game evidence of Todd Simpson not playing full football, not playing full 4 quarters of football. He give you a good two, and then the other two is whatever. You know, they can be the top two, but you got to give it to Mendoza, bro. They the number 2 team in the country, bro. Indiana.
Yeah, I know the story. That's why I said I didn't. I said he was still in the lead. I wouldn't. I didn't say. I just don't agree with it being a firm lead, though. You know what I'm saying? I think it's you. We nitpicking. I got a case. Someone else may have a case. It sounds good for college football. That's
I
odd.
mean,
Indiana
if
being ranked that
if you
high.
want to be technical,
You know what I'm saying?
technical though, bro. If you want to be technical, Marcel Reed might be ahead of Ty Simpson, bro.
There it is. There it is.
Damn, am I shade? Why am I keep doing that?
Oh no.
I was saying though, I think
I
Marcel Reed might be over Ty Simpson, bro.
I heard that. Yeah, I did. I heard that. They got some good wins. They
You
undefeated.
know,
I can see
you
the
you
case.
want to, you know, you gotta look at the bigger picture, brother. I know you want to give your
Bro, I
Bama guy some
never
credit,
said Ty
man,
Simpson should be in the
but you
league
gotta.
though. I
You was
never used those
insinuating
choice of
Ty Simpson.
words.
But you were insinuating. Can you acknowledge that you were insinuating? Can you acknowledge it was a little hate in the Mendoza talk, bruh?
Not at all. I just said that's a good story. Indiana being ranked, you know what I mean? As high as they are, them potentially winning the conference all the way. You feel me? I mean, that's just a good storyline. That's road to glory type stuff. Absolutely. It's Indiana. Like what? So yeah, nah, for sure. He definitely, just based off, you know, uh just story power he he should be in the front. I just don't agree it should be firm because we down there in the South really going through a gauntlet, in my opinion, regardless if it's, not as deep as other years as far as talent wise. You know what I mean? I
The
still
fun,
think it's random
it
teams.
is deep. It's just not that many good football teams, bro. That's the thing. It's talent. Talent is rich across the SEC, bro. That's evident, bro. Like Mississippi State is decent this year, bro. Like
Yeah.
you know, it's evident. It's talent everywhere, but it's not that many good football teams. That
And
makes
that's what I mean regarding deep, you know what I'm saying? Because I get what
yeah,
people are saying, because I can
yeah.
see the vision of what could happen in the bowl games, for SEC as a whole, you dig? But the fact still remains. But nah, it's a lot of good people out there that got cases, you dig? I just think outside of those three, you can't really tell me anyone otherwise. And I still like what Ty Simpson is doing, despite kind of a down game for him against LSU.
Yeah, huh, bro? You got Julian saying.
Oh, damn.
Julian saying 100% going to be in this discussion here soon, bro. Go
He
look at
shouldn't
his
be.
stat line,
Nah, he shouldn't be in there over title,
bro.
man.
You gonna be bro. You gonna go look at Julian saying stat lines, bro, and you gonna really be shocked, bro. Like he's doing better. He's putting up better numbers than Ty recently, bro. Go look at them numbers.
Nah,
He's starting to figure it out.
I'm gonna check that. I'm gonna
He's
check
starting to
that one
figure it
out.
out, man. That joint. It's funny though, because I was talking to somebody about Julian saying, and bro, Ohio State's funny. To last week is really what propelled Julian saying to get in this conversation we're talking about, bro. Because last week it was from Penn State to, or the week prior, sorry, from Penn State to actually nah. Who did Ohio State play last week? Hold on one second. Hold on, dog.
The week before last?
Yeah, who did not last week. Week before last. Yeah, they played Purdue last week. Not even worried about the bro. I really meant the but I can actually add that to it as well. But yeah, bro, if you go look at Julian Sayings last week's, bro, he's been throwing for like 300 plus yards, bro. Like 70 plus 70% completion percentage, maybe even higher some games, bro. But the game that propelled him into the conversation was the Penn State game, bro. That if anybody watched the Penn State game November 1st weekend, um Penn State had him on the ropes. Penn State's defensive coordinator, Jim Knowles, was O State's defensive coordinator last year. He swapped over and bro, he had their number early, bro. He just stacking the box, sending the house, bro. You know what I'm saying? So the game came down to if Julian Sayin was going to be able to connect on, his one-on-one deep ball throws, for real, just his one-on-one throws, period. Like that's all he was getting all game long, bro. And yeah, him Cardinal Tate went crazy. I think he had like a buck 20 something. Jeremiah had like a buck 20 something, bro. Both of them had some tugs. And I think that really like sprung him into the conversation, bro. Because like if you really start to look at his stat lines, bro, I'm telling you, bro, it's
Nah, I already knew
I ain't
he.
gonna have no choice but to start putting him in there, bro. I I'm not saying that he should, but they going to start. You know how the quarterback starts to get,
Nah, for
you
sure.
know, you know.
His touchdown interception ratio is good. He got over. I knew he had over 2,000 yards. I just didn't know he had 24 tugs. That's tough. So,
Bro, I'm telling you, he's starting to pick it up as the season goes along. They're starting to gain more responsibility. So it's just hard to tell, bro, because that defense is so dominant though.
facts.
We can move on though, man.
No,
My bad too, bro. I wasn't hating on Ty. I was just, bro, I see, bro, I see why some people just don't be talking shit about the SEC sometimes, bro. That's really all it is, man.
nah, I knew what point he was getting to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Cause like I don't think I don't think Tennessee or Missouri is good, as I thought they could. But I didn't know Missouri's quarterback was out too. Remember, I took Missouri on the upset last week. I was
yeah.
wondering why they was slumping. They quarterback hurt, bro. I did
Right.
not know that. So it's just tough, man. Tough year. But continue, brother. Sorry.
Should we be concerned that Colorado's AD stepped down to an advisory role? And I mean that for the support system of, you know, Deion Sanders. You did because again, he coming off about to have another losing season. I know he's boosting the economy and bringing a lot of good attention, boosting the morale, bringing a lot of recruits in there. So it's bound to turn around. You dig, but you know how it is when you got your own guy in there in regards to coaching situations. So should we be concerned? You think, or he good money?
Um, yeah, I mean, in the world we live in, bruh, they starting to really try to intertwine politics with these sports and things of that nature. So yeah, I would be worried. Should they make a move? I mean, that's up to them. He's definitely helping put Colorado on the map. Um, And I thought he had a good trajectory after last year. I think they won like 9 games last year. 8 or 9 games. So it looked like he was on the up and up. Um, but yeah, I mean, going forward, about to have a rough season here. They can't bounce back. If they start going back downhill, I don't know how much it's gonna matter. What type of attention he's bringing to the program if they ain't winning. You know, um, they're gonna be right back where they have been for the last 20 plus years. So yeah,
Man,
it's tough. And that's when you see stuff like that, him stepping down, like yeah, it's just. And I know that AD supported Dion like very much. So yeah, it's about that stuff that's above his. He can't do nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, so I think he should definitely keep his eye on it for sure.
nah, man. Like you just alluded to, I just experienced something personally where, some stuff happened with coaching movement. So, it matters, who's in admin positions, you know what I mean, in those decisions where, they could fight for you or, not fight for you. Right. So, um, and shout out to bro, man. We're gonna be all right. You know that. Um, what are your picks for these upcoming matchups this weekend, fam? We got number 9 Notre Dame at 22. Excuse me, number 22 Pitt. I'm taking Notre Dame in that game myself. Who you got?
Notre Dame for sure, bro.
We got number 21 Iowa at number 17 USC. I'm taking Iowa to upset that game. I know it's not like a crazy like upset, but a lot of people going to pick USC. I'm taking Iowa.
If it was at Iowa, maybe, but I'm taking USC.
And then we got number 10 Texas at number 5 Georgia. Again, I'm going with the upset. Arch Manning, he going to quiet the doubters, getting a dub this Saturday. Big, big game. His biggest win of his career to this point. He going to get the dub this Saturday. I'm taking Texas, man. Who you got?
Um, I'm actually taking Texas too. I think Texas can go in there and get the dub, man.
Hey,
Georgia's had their number. But like I said, I got my eye on Texas, man. If they can turn this corner here, which it looks like they playing some hard ball. I ain't saying they turned it yet, but yeah, I think Texas can get that upset. And to be honest with you, Texas kind of need it.
yeah, they do.
They don't want to take another loss.
Moving on to the NFL, who is your CSN player of the week over there in the professional side?
Mine, of course, was my damn sorry, bro.
Who you want to say Matthew Stafford?
Yeah, I had this thing.
He went
I had this
crazy.
thing lost. Yeah, 24 for 36, 284 tugs, no picks. You know, gave y'all the belt. hmm hmm Yeah, it's Stafford.
Yeah. Here's our backups though. Don't get too, too hype B. But nonetheless, he looked great though. He did look great. He looked great. Uh, for me, man, I think this is a big win for them, Malik. It's one of those tests. I think the Patriots getting this dub was a big, big win for them. That's big them being 8-2 with that type of win. That's one of the top teams in the league, in my opinion. But
Hey, I said they could win that division too. When
you
you asked me
did,
the other week,
you
I said I
did,
think they might do it.
you did. But for me, I'm going to say Trayvon Henderson. Yeah,
That's a good pick, man.
14 carries, 147 yards, 2 tutties, bro, coming out of nowhere. Know what I'm saying?
And if you know like more of the background story though, like yeah, they say Vrabel got something against bruh. He ain't really been trying to let him loose because the Patriots kind of been behind the scenes looking for a running back. They think they need another running back, like I don't know if they need an every down guy. I don't know what they was looking at guys like Chuba Hubbard, for example. I know they inquired about him. Um, but yeah, it's like a thing with Pat fans and things of that nature that Vrabel ain't really trying to give bruh a chance. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but when he do get a chance, he make plays. And that was just another evidence. So that a lot of the fans was rejoicing, because they actually let bruh rock a little bit, and
Word.
he broke two long ones. So yeah, shout out to Travion Henderson. I like his game a lot, bro. I've always liked his game too.
We're gonna stay in the NFL. Who's in your CSN top five power rankings?
Now this is tough. I'm still going Colts at number one.
Ooh,
Um, yeah, I'll still go Colts at number one. Yeah,
okay.
they playing good ball. Made some trades this week. Shout out to them. I'm gonna go Patriots number two. I think they're playing some of the best ball right now. 7 game win streak. Just got to keep it tall. Broncos at three. I know some people had that intertwined. Us at four. That us being the Rams. I got us at four. And five, I'm gonna go Seattle Seahawks, man. I got them above the Eagles just a little bit right now too. Kind of pains me to say because I'm not the biggest Seahawks guy, but I like what the Seahawks is doing. I like some of what the Seahawks are doing. I can't even lie. You know, I'm just glad Sam Darnold's their quarterback.
I heard you. For me, you silly too, bro.
Word, word. Because they building that defense over there, bro. They
Low
really
key,
are for real.
low key.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
But for me, I would say the Rams, the number one. The Colts at number two. Um, the Bucks at number three. Excuse me. The Lions at number four, and the Seahawks at number five. You know,
The only reason why I had us at four is because I gave the Colts. I'm just giving the Colts love just because. Besides the one hiccup Danny Jones game, which can be their fate for real, for real. I respect what they doing this year for real, for real.
well, just to
And I
break it
respect how
down,
JT playing.
yeah, and we real ones up here. We not biased. Try not to be on the show, right?
Yeah, yeah, try not to be.
Um, the Rams, you got to think Matthew Stafford is still slinging it. Y'all got two fire receivers. Y'all got good running game.
Nice.
Y'all got great defense. I mean, pick your poison. Who you gonna put your top DB on? You probably should put him on Devontae. Puka going to kill. If you put him on Puka Devontae, I mean, it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, and then when you go on down from there, you dig. Like I said, Baker's playing at an MVP level. I know I got the Bucks there at three. Daniel Jones leads the league in passing yards, Malik. Jonathan Taylor leads the league in rushing yards. So to your point, they handling their business on the offensive end. You dig. I just don't all the way trust in Daniel Jones quite yet. You know what I'm saying? Like I do with Stafford or even a Baker Mayfield. You know what I'm saying? And then we just talked about the Seahawks defense at five and how good they look on offense. Jackson Smith, Nick, but we talked about him last week. He's definitely having breakout season, crazy, crazy breakout season as far as superstardom. He already had a breakout season, but as far as superstardom, he's really climbing the ranks as being, a top five receiver in the NFL. And then, the Lions at four, they got a very powerful offense. And shout out to Coach, man, calling the plays. I think that was dope, to see them perform like that after he committed to calling the offensive plays. So I think that's dope that he's that versatile. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was crazy. I seen he was calling plays, bro.
Facts. Um,
Didn't even know he had that in his background.
you feel me? That's why I said that's dope.
Right.
Man, Malik, are you buying into the Drake May hype?
Yeah, Drake May good. I mean, ain't nothing really to talk about. Uh,
Yes,
I
sir.
like Drake May coming out. Yeah, I thought, yeah, I like Drake May coming out. It
Where's
was,
it from?
it was really no thing at all. Thought he had the tools, knew he had the right makeup. Shout out to Luke. That whole family, man. I got love for the May family, for
Word
real.
is bond. Shout out to Lil
So,
May. Man, we love you forever.
you know,
Um,
so yeah. I think Drake got that stuff though. I mean, I thought he could be good. He's proving it. He's proving it. Yeah.
how much longer do you think Stafford maintains this level of play, as far as playing at this high level, as far as years to come, not this season, just this season, years to come?
Well, I don't think Stafford 40 yet, so
Yeah, he's 37.
yeah, so probably another year, another two. No, he probably can do another year for sure. Two, I don't know. Just depends on how his body feels. That motherfucker he'd be banged up, bruh.
Fact.
But he playing good this year. He stayed pretty healthy this year. Um, Outside of not playing all preseason or practicing, with the back. But yeah, I mean, as long as he ain't injured, I think he got another year for sure to do good. Outside of that, I don't know. But I think he got one more year of this for sure. He can't give you one more year of this.
AJ Brown's comments about the offense, and what he said specifically was, you can't put a band-aid over the offensive mishaps that they continue to have. Eventually that's going to come back to bite them. I'm paraphrasing here. The defense is doing their due diligence in reference to holding down their side of the ball, getting stops, limiting teams to, low scoring games, and the offense is now capitalizing playing complementary football, which is real. You know what I mean? He's holding not only himself accountable, but the offensive unit as a whole. You expect that from one of your leaders and one of your highest paid players on the roster. I have no issues with what he said. And he also stated mainly, how he feels about his contributions to the game. Despite them winning. You know what I mean? He only had two catches in their most recent win for 13 yards. You know what I mean? This is a guy, Malik, that's making 32 million a year. That's I'm not saying that as that's indicative to, how he needs to be playing. I'm saying that in regards to like y'all need to give him more opportunities in regards to the offensive play calling. That's directly on the OC. Uh people may look at it, Malik, and just watching the game and blame Jalen like, no, the coaches got to position, AJ to garner those opportunities. You know what I'm saying? He got to draw that up and put him in one-on-one positions or put him make specific play calls where it's designed to go to him. And they got to execute on those plays. I do know that Devontae Smith touchdown, it was designed to go to AJ because the coach, um, called that out, but they had it covered, so it went to Smitty. So I understand that the defense is also certain coverages, certain plays, they taking AJ out of the play, but still you gotta do a way better job volume wise of getting him opportunities and targets. So I have no issue with his comments. What about you, Lake?
I mean, his comments was real. I mean, I'm indifferent about it. I don't really got an issue with him. But I mean, they real. You can't throw a band-aid on the issues. It definitely will come back to haunt them. I mean, we've seen this with the Eagles a couple years ago. You know, um, they went out to like a 10-1 start. But everybody could tell it was still shaky looking. You know, um, as soon as it happened, as soon as they got to the playoffs, Baker spanked them. You know, so yeah, I think this has resemblance of that for sure. They just need to yeah, just stop being so comfortable letting AJ be a decoy because it definitely makes their offense super predictable. Yeah, I think that's self-explanatory. You hit it right on the head, man. You just got to stop being comfortable with him being a decoy and make it a little more of an issue to try and get him involved.
What key games are you looking forward to this week in the NFL, man?
This week, um, Bucks Bills play. I
Fire.
want to watch that. We play the Seahawks Rams. That is, of course. And then probably Broncos, Chiefs. The Monday night game gonna be fire, or the Sunday night game gonna be fire. Yeah, Lions, Eagles, that could be a good one too. But yeah, I'm sure same shit you about to say.
I was about
Chiefs,
to say,
Broncos, yeah.
yeah, you literally took everything, man. Nah, those are definitely the best games. Shoot, there's no more to add with that. And
Bears,
NCAA,
Vikings might be all right though.
who'd you
They
say?
fight. They both fighting for something. Bears, Vikings.
Oh yeah, division game too. You know what I mean? Shout out to
Yeah.
Caleb Williams too, man. He playing well right now. Shout out to the young bull, man. Um, and NCAA basketball, man. Speaking of our Tar Heels, does Seth Trimble being injured concern you as far as impact on team success? We got some tough games coming up, league.
Yes. I mean, I think we'll be fine as far as being able to weather the storm, you know. But nah, yeah, I want Seth out there, but Seth isn't necessarily like a crazy offensive, like we don't have to worry about working Seth back in offensively. You know what I'm saying? He does so many other things outside of score the basketball for us. I like that he has gotten more aggressive, you know what I'm saying, and trying to, put up more shots, but I don't think necessarily it's gonna hurt us in the short run, but definitely would need him for a tournament run, that back end. Uh, just gonna need that defensive presence for sure. I think that's where we'll lack a little bit. Uh, so hopefully we can, counter that with some good, efficient offense. Some high scoring games. Because we definitely will miss him defensively a little bit for sure.
Nah, for sure, bro. He was giving Kansas problems, real problems last Friday. So he would definitely be missed. And he had what, like 17, 18 points, you know what I mean? So, he definitely had a great impact on both sides of the basketball. Um, and college
Bro, they said
basketball.
a equipment bench fell on him, bro. Sorry to cut you off.
Nah, yeah, yes,
That's
that's
retarded.
exactly
That's
what happened,
crazy.
bro. Yeah,
That's
that's exactly
crazy.
what happened.
That's
That's
crazy.
insane. That's insane. The facilities, the resources, the equipment we have for that to happen, a malfunction like that. Come on.
Somebody got to get fired,
Come
bro.
on, bro.
Why is that not bolted down, bro? Like, what are we doing?
Like he got a lawsuit on his hands if he really
Oh
wanted to
yeah,
be that type.
yeah, you seen what I said? I'd sue him and fire somebody, bro. That is unacceptable, bro. Our starting point guard went down because y'all forgot to bolt the damn weight bench down, bro. The lat pull down, bro. What are we doing?
Man,
That's crazy, bro. I was so mad when I seen what happened, bro. I'm
bro,
like,
you
bro, this
were
can't be real, bro. Like, what are we
that's
doing?
not a good look either, League.
No.
Um, in college basketball though, as far as power rankings, how they do the seeding and stuff throughout the year. Do you value strength of schedule more than a team's say conference and overall record? Like say you may be like maybe in a weaker conference. Let's just keep it a buck. But you running through everything. You dig. And you got a couple good, non-conference wins. Are you valuing that more than, somebody that's playing in the ACC or the SEC?
Nah, you don't value it more just because of competition, conference play competition night in and night out. That's where you're gonna see a major difference. Not saying the team still can be better than a team that's playing in those conferences. I'm just saying like the resume is it's kind of skewed because, of competition level. You know what I'm saying? So no, I don't think that, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think that, bro. I don't know. I think yeah, I think because strength of schedule matters in college basketball, but they'll really hit you over the head for bad losses in college basketball, bro.
Yeah, they
Like they'll
will.
really rank that against your resume, you know what I'm saying? And then, kind of won't prop up wins you think should be propped up. It's kind of weird, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like just being honest with you. Uh, so I think they do take into account where people play a little bit more, you know. But yeah, I think you got to get some strength. The strength of opponent matters more than anything. Strength of schedule for sure, bro. I feel like that matters more than anything. I feel like that's a very, very tell all too. Like it's been rare where we've seen teams like run the table in sorry conferences and go out and win it all. You know what I'm saying? I think last team we seen that do that is UConn men's team. You know what I'm saying? Where the Biggies, kind of collapsed. They stuck there, but they still a blue blood. So they're still turning in what they need to turn into. But that's just super rare, bro. You know. Uh, so I don't think they're wrong for taking that into account.
Well, I'm
Where
saying, what
people
do you
play.
value most though between the two? So, but yeah, you
Oh
just
yeah, 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 yeah. Then yeah, that's what I value the most, bro. Strength of schedule, strength of opponent. I mean,
and me too.
it's
That's
got to
what
mean
I'm looking
something.
at. Yeah, you
We
did.
watch we watch BYU run through the Mountain West every year. Them St. Mary's don't ever win it. Not saying they ain't a good basketball team. Not saying they can't clip a lot of teams in the country. I'm just saying it just it's different when you got night in and night out competition like that, bro.
Come on, come on, come on. Y'all go from playing nobody all year long, running through the conference, then you lose first two rounds of the tournament. Come on. So, like, clearly you're not getting better by not challenging yourself throughout the year. So yeah, I definitely value strength of schedule more because that's just going to prepare you for those big tournament games because those are big pressure moments. You and I've both seen moments where we probably should have won games. I can remember like back when Sam Decker and we played them boys. I feel like we should have beat that Wisconsin team. Just keeping it a buck. You feel me? A couple years ago, excuse me, not a couple years ago, just last, not this past ACC tournament, but the year before where we lost to NC State, we should have handled business that game, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just certain games um where I feel like, we got prepared for those moments. We just didn't execute. But the fact that we were prepared for those moments gave me solace. I couldn't imagine, being a team or a program that doesn't play, tough opponents or a tough schedule like, UNC does, and then going, having a deep tournament run, and then you make the semifinals or a championship game, and it's an intense game, and you just not prepared. You feel me? So. Um, that's my
Seen
thoughts
that
on.
before.
And that's all we got for college basketball and the NBA, man. When LeBron comes back, can the Lakers be legit title contenders? I know that was a blowout loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder. That was a big test right there. But with Bron coming back, do you feel like they can be legit title contenders? I say yes, because we see how they look like one of the top teams in the West, as is, the standard is OKC. And that's, I don't expect for it to be, that big of a point difference, but I do expect them to win with LeBron being out. So, we still aren't at full strength and we haven't played our best basketball quite yet. We missing one of the greatest hoopers in history. So he only can help. So my answer is yes, for sure. What you think though?
Yeah, man. And I'm gonna take this time to talk just a second, bro. Like, cause ain't no 2 minute warning. This was gonna be the 2 minute warning, but I'm gonna just put it here in very short form. This is why everybody shouldn't be able to talk, bro. You know what I'm saying? And this is why everybody shouldn't have a platform. And this is why groupthink is terrible. I've been sitting here telling you that it's a smoke screen, bro. I've been sitting here telling you that this Austin Reeves Luca thing is a smoke screen. You cannot win with them two running the show, bro. You just can't. And what have we been listening to for the past 2 weeks?
Yeah, the
What has the takes been on TV the past 2 weeks? What do they need to do with LeBron?
trading.
LeBron need to take a back seat.
Yeah, yeah.
Just let Austin Reeves and them cook. And they just went out there versus Shea. And you know how I feel about Shea. So you know where I was at with it last night. I was telling people what was going to happen. And put 30 on the board, they going to lose. I didn't know it was going to go like that. But the fact that it went like that, bro, like I'm just glad it did. This go. You gotta be slow with topics, bro. You have to be slow with hoop topics, especially in the NBA, bro. They don't play hard every night, bro. Every game doesn't mean the same. Every game night in and night out in the NBA does not mean the same, bro. So you gotta be careful with how you put analysis out there. There's people really out there that are influencing people to think that LeBron can't help this Lakers team, that they need to move off of him. My bad. They need to move off of him. And that's just not the case, bro. Not at all. Flat out, So yeah, they need LeBron back out there. He gonna help them.
Nah, for sure, man. Yeah, that oh, gosh, it got ugly last night. Like, goodness gracious. Yeah, we can move on because it was ugly. I mean, they was up almost 40 at one point. Um, is Cade Cunningham the best point guard in the East? I'm gonna say no, but he's building the case. But I'm gonna say no as of right now. But we got to see how the season ends. He's playing amazing right now, though, to start the season. Though I'm loving what I'm seeing from him. I'm not gonna hold you. Loving what I'm seeing.
Yes, he is.
Oh, you
Look
got
at
him over
Cade
Brunson?
Cunningham.
You got him over
Yeah,
Brunson?
yeah. Yes, I do. 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 And I like Big Body Brunson,
You feel me? We didn't
but
see
nah, he
what he
ain't
did
better than
in the big
Cade.
moments in the playoffs, league. We didn't see him come through. That's the thing. But quiet as kept though, the Pistons had a great series. Okay, they had a good series. They just young, don't know how to win yet. But hey, y'all
This is
need to
their first
extend
time ever.
Durant.
They could have flipped the Knicks.
Dern, Jalen.
No, he getting the bag. He getting the max bag.
Facts, man. Y'all need to go ahead and hurry up and seal the deal. Keep them two together. Y'all better keep them two together. That's your core. Build off them and the twin, the Thompson twin. But them two, it starts with them two, especially prioritize them two. Um, man, hey, bruh, a week went by and the Bulls went from being number one, they down to number nine. To your point, losing 4 games since we last spoke about them. They have lost 4 games, bruh. Are you buying into
Mhm.
the Pistons hype with them being number one? Speaking of Kate Cunningham,
Uh, Pistons was one of my sleeper teams. Them and the Jazz.
yeah,
Them was my two sleepers at the beginning of the year. So I mean, nah, I ain't really surprised. Uh, do I think they're the best team in the East? Probably not. But I think they're definitely a top four team in the East for sure.
for sure.
You know,
Nah, man, they're playing great basketball right now. Coach is doing a great job. Cade is doing a great job. So, shout out to the Pistons, man. Y'all back officially. Should the Warriors make a trade? I'm gonna say yes, just because like it's not quite going how we thought. You dig? And while you still can get something for Kaminga, you might want to maybe revisit a Kings trade if you can get Sabonis out of that deal. If you can get Sabonis out of that deal, you might be able to do something because the Warriors got a couple assets they could throw to get somebody like that out of that deal. And remember, they was trying to get what's the name from the Jazz? What's Lori marketing? Mark
marketing.
Yeah, marketing.
They was trying to get Laurie. Who
Yeah,
was?
the Warriors.
That's serious. Laurie, like my favorite European player, bro. No cap.
Is he
He,
really?
he raw. He raw, bro. That's why I like the Jazz, bro. That's why I've been on the Jazz so hard, bro. Laurie is a 30 ball.
Bro,
He is
I was
tough.
wondering before when you said that, but gotcha. I didn't know you was that interested in bruh's game. Now he is
Bro,
nice.
Laurie
Don't get me
marketing
wrong.
nice, bro. He
Word,
cold, bro.
word. That's
He
crazy.
cold, bro.
That's tough.
But as far as the Warriors making a trade,
Would you
I
make that
guess
trade for Sabonis? If you could get Sabonis, like
yeah, if you can get some bonus, why not? But really, Jimmy Butler got to step up more, bro. Let's just call it what it
that's
is.
real. Yeah, 18 not going.
But it might be that it might be over. He might have fleeced them.
Hmm.
That's possible. We was
Mhm.
talking about that Pat Riley stuff. I told you, I understood where Jimmy was coming from, but I also understood where Pat was coming from, bro. We ain't about to just pay you all this bread and you gonna be.
killing
lollygagging,
all
thinking you're gonna
regular
turn it
season.
around,
Yeah.
think you're gonna turn it around, and because the East weak and make a run, like, nah, you ain't about to keep doing this, bro. Like, so I felt it, man. But I think Jimmy need to step up more too. Just putting that out there.
No, that's real. Man, now it's time for, one of my favorite segments for sure, our CSN overreaction segment. Uh Starting out, the AFC West is the best division in NFL football. I say yes this year. They got three teams that got a strong case. They're not going to make all.
Yeah, this year for sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
I say that. Let me not speak too soon, but I say true. Jonathan Taylor should be clear.
Jags. I mean, the AFC South. Hold on, Chad? No, 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 I'm lying. I'm lying. Sorry,
I was
sorry,
about to
brother.
say
Sorry.
it.
The
AFC.
Jags and the Colts are both doing good though.
Yeah, they are. That's who in the seventh seed right now, the Jags. Um,
Yeah,
Jonathan Taylor should be clear cut favorite to win the NFL MVP. True.
I think he should, but you know how it go.
I
I
know,
think
but
it's
after
true.
that, what he just did this past week, my goodness, my goodness. Um, Cade Cunningham is a top five point guard in the NBA. I say true. He's at five for me. He's at the five.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Matt LaFleur, Packers head coach, should be on the hot seat. I say false.
False.
The Chicago Bears will make the playoffs.
True. I'm gonna say true. I might think they might sneak in as a wild card, bro.
That's a hot take right there. I'm gonna say false.
They 6-3 right now.
They are.
3-2 in the division. So they only got one more division game. Um, yeah, it just depends on how they go this last stretch. But I mean, they got a good start. That's why said this Vikings game is gonna mean something for real, for real. This
Word
is a
is
big
bond.
game Sunday. Um,
The
put them in
Car-
good position if they win this one.
the Carolina Panthers should move on from Bryce Young. I say false.
Say false. They just need more weapons. Period. I think they need to fix that line. They need to get a better run game. Chubb Herbert's good, but and don't get me wrong, Dowdle's been good too. He's been a godsend actually. Nobody expected that for him, but they need something special, special back there. But not yet. I say false. The Panthers is weird, bro, because up until last week, you've been thinking like they having a decent season. They having a step forward season. And then they turn around and lose. You know, to teams they're not supposed to lose to. It's just kind of mind boggling to say the least. Should never lost to the Saints, but the Saints are terrible.
Um, the Magic are underachieving this year. I'm gonna say true. That was one of my sleeper teams, and
And
they
that was one of them teams I told you I didn't
you
believe in
did,
Bane.
you
What I
did,
say?
you did, you did, you did.
I'd rather them go get a real deal PG,
That's what you
real deal
did.
playmaker.
I was
Not
definitely
saying they can't
for
turn it
that bang.
around.
Yeah, that's like you said, it's still early.
It's early. Not saying they can't turn around, but I just didn't think Bane was what they needed personally. Not saying he can't help though.
The Cavs should be the favorite in the East this year. Shout out to the fam. I'm gonna say true.
Yeah, I'd say true. I'd say true. I'd say true. Them are the Knicks.
The Dallas Mavericks should trade Kyrie and Anthony Davis.
No, maybe Anthony Davis.
I'm gonna say
You can
false.
probably get you can probably get a lot out of AD. You probably finesse somebody one last time for AD. You know, yeah, I wouldn't. I think that's fine. I say true. Not Kyrie though, just AD.
I'm gonna say false because if they were healthy, the fact that you got Kyrie and AD coupled with Cooper Flag that's up and coming, that's going to be a solid player in this league. I just don't. They're going to
Listen
have
to what you said
success.
though. if they
If
were.
yeah, I know Anthony Davis.
It's never a guarantee with AD.
I
At this
know.
point, it's just it is what it is, bud. You
Yeah,
know, we know AD really him, but for how long? You're gonna miss him a little bit. You know?
yeah.
Especially because he's been trying to play more games these past couple seasons.
Thanks.
So it's probably catching up with him for real, for real.
But he pushing through it,
You
and to your point, it's probably
know.
coming back to bite him now. You know,
Hmm.
but at least he tried to quiet the doubters in regards to them saying he.
Yeah, it ain't no shot at AD, bro. This ain't nothing but a availability thing, bro. AD is really him when he play.
Yeah.
You know.
Um. Last we got the Ravens will make the playoffs this year over the Chiefs, Jaguars, and Texans, who I may add are all ranked above them right now in the playoff race, and the Jags are in
They
the
ain't gonna catch the
15th.
Chiefs. They
Yeah.
ain't gonna catch the Chiefs, bro.
Yeah.
You don't even need to finish that right there. They not catch, but the other two, they can probably catch them. Maybe. They just need the Jags to falter a little bit. The Jags keep winning on the low, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, why you?
You know,
If they ain't gonna catch the Chiefs, why you think they gonna catch the Jags? Jags currently in that seventh seed.
because the Jags are shaky. And that's just
Yeah,
me being
that's
being completely real
based off
with you. They
history. Yeah.
they are scraping by with some of these wins. So yeah. But with Lamar coming back and the way, like I said, the way the Ravens schedule lines up down the stretch, bro, it lines up for them to make a run for real, for real. Just keeping it all the way tall.
Word is bond. Uh, man. Next we got our CSN pick six segment. Leak, give me your three, and then I'll follow up with my three.
Ah, I'm going Ravens versus the Browns minus 7.5. Um, I'm going Detroit Lions +3 versus Philly, and then I'm gonna go Baker Mayfield +5.5 versus the Bills. So the Buccaneers +5.5 versus the Bills.
Okay, and for me, I'm sticking in college. I got I'm taking USC at minus 6.5, hosting Iowa. Then I'm taking USF, South Florida. They travel to play Navy. I'm taking them at minus 9.5. And then I'm taking Louisville over Clemson at minus 2.5. Louisville at home, Friday night game.
Okay, okay.
And yeah, bub, shoot, you just mentioned that you already stated your 2 minute warning. You dig? If I was to hold it down for Drizzy, as far as the overtime segment, man, I just want to throw out there, bro. Social media is a crazy thing right now. You know what I mean? Um, you know, shout out to all the youngins that did make their middle school teams. That's definitely cool. Um, I just hate like, it just seemed like some posts I could tell was genuine, and some, you just following the trend. You just posting just y'all's kids don't have Facebook, so y'all not posting it so they can see y'all showing them love. Y'all just posting it to brag on y'all's kids, which is cool. But y'all friends with some of their peers, you dig, and some of their friends, and some of their friends didn't make the middle school team. So, of course, that's not your child's fault, but it's like a consideration thing for me. Like I said, some posts I get are genuine. Some posts y'all just doing it for attention because none of y'all's kids are going to see it because they don't have Facebook, Malik. So, hey, but hey, we want the attention. We posted. Hey, we cool. You know what I mean? Shout out to your babies making the team. Shout out to all the youngins. You know what I mean? Shout out to the youngins that didn't make it. We got to get in that gym. You dig? So, love y'all regardless. Shout out to y'all, man. But yeah, that's all I wanted to throw out there for the overtime segment. You know what I mean? Hold it down for Drizzy. You got any other unreadiness, Malik? Anything you want to state?
Nah, man, I told you, I got it out right there.
Early word. Hey
You
man,
know.
as always, we appreciate the support. Please continue to like, subscribe, share, and view the content. It's your boy KVZ. I'm with Link the God. Shout out to Drizzy. And we out, man. Peace and blessings.
Peace, peace.